absolute chaos on the streets of Barcelona. Stage 2 of the 2026 Tour de France wasn't just a race, it was a masterclass in psychological warfare. UAE Emirates didn't just win, they played with their food. Is Tadej Pogacar going soft, or is this the ultimate boss move?
That was very cool. I got very excited. Wow. Just the number of vehicles behind them, right? It's for the first time. No, it's very cool.
Let's break down the tactics. That final kilometer wasn't about desperation, it was a calculated flex. After Brandon, McNulty spent the day putting the peloton in a blender with his high-cadence shredding. He teed it up for the young gun, Isaac del Toro. Giving a Tour de France stage win to a teammate is rare, but giving it to a Mexican rider, only the second in the history of the race after Raúl Alcala, is pure prestige. It tells the rest of the peloton that UAE doesn't just have one leader, they have an entire team of killers waiting to strike.
To that bet, because I don't believe they can do it from the peloton. Then with Volkela and Gunnar, I do think we saw them in break formation trying with Gunnar a few times. I think Volkela had another mechanical in break formation, so poor sod. And then Pinarello,
Now, let's talk about the GC chess match. Jonas Vingegaard is clinging to that yellow jersey, but it's looking precarious. He's essentially on defense against a two-pronged UAE attack. Evenepoel is lurking in the shadows, waiting for the Visma leader to blink under the pressure of this dual-threat dynamic. The pressure is immense. Vingegaard isn't just racing Pogacar anymore. He's racing an entire squad that seems to be having fun while he's fighting for his life. It's a classic battle of endurance versus tactical arrogance, and we are here for every second of it. Turning to our pro thought of the day, we look at the words of Dr. Hutch. He hits the nail on the head. We spend so much time watching these gods of cycling crush each other, we forget the reality for the rest of us. Sometimes, you don't want to measure yourself against the world's best. You just want to take a medal home and prove you aren't wasting your time. The gap between the pro peloton and the local crit scene has never felt wider. While the UAE riders are pulling off orchestrated 1-2 finishes, most of us are just hoping not to get dropped by a guy who borrowed someone else's tools. It's the difference between a high-stakes dream and the gritty reality of the weekend warrior. Let's head to the tech corner. Why are these bikes costing a small fortune? It's the insane preparation. We've come a long way from the woolly shorts of the 1900s, which were basically skin-shredding sandpaper, to the wind tunnel-tested, aero-optimized masterpieces we see today. Comparing bikes across 7 decades shows we're definitely faster. But is it the tech or just better training? Maybe a bit of both, but you can't deny that the evolution of the humble chain and the shift away from leather-soled misery have transformed the sport into a science. And for our reality check, let's pivot from the polished tour coverage to the suffering for views crowd. There's a world of difference between a sterilized, professional mountaintop finish and dragging your bike through 160 kilometers of Scottish mud, completely alone, wondering why you ever started cycling in the first place. It's the beauty and the beast of our sport. Whether it's the snow walls of a mountain pass or the wet highlands, we're all chasing the same feeling. But let's be honest, watching the pros navigate these tactics is a lot more comfortable than being out there in the elements. UAE Emirates didn't just win today, they put on a masterclass in psychological warfare. Brandon McNulty turned the screws with a high-cadence grind that absolutely shredded the peloton, leaving only the elite favorites hanging on for dear life.
He's ready to strike. Oh, they go under the trees. Still, McNulty sets the tempo. Pogacar looks across. Remco Evenepoel has a little glance while his teammate moves up on the left-hand side with that more crouched.
The control was surgical. We saw Matías Esquielmos try to ignite a move with 2 kilometers to go, but UAE had the perfect response. They didn't panic. They simply let Isaac del Toro bridge the gap with Pogacar marking the wheels behind. And then, the ultimate flex. Pogacar, arguably the best rider in the world, could have easily taken the glory for himself. Instead, he guides the young Mexican prodigy, Isaac del Toro, to the line, letting him take the victory. This is monumental. It's only the second time in the history of the Tour de France that a Mexican rider has stood on top of the podium, the first being Raúl Alcala back in the early 90s. The prestige for Del Toro is career-defining. Some fans are saying in the comments that this is the clearest sign, yet that UAE is operating on a different tactical plane, basically playing with their food, while the rest of the GC favorites scramble to just survive the chaos. Turning our eyes to the GC board, the chess match has officially begun. Jonas Vingegaard is clinging to that yellow jersey, but it's looking more like a grip of desperation than total control.
About an hour's worth of racing has been done. We've got a breakaway with Felix Enkelhardt, the German national champion for Jayco Aula, Frank Vandenbroek, remember him a few years.
Vingegaard is now firmly on the defensive. Having the UAE duo of Pogacar and Del Toro ahead of you isn't just a tactical problem, it's a psychological grind. Every move Jonas makes is being scrutinized by two riders who have nothing to lose and a team that is clearly willing to gamble. And then there's Remco Evenepoel. He's lurking, quiet and dangerous, like a shark in the water. He's only 15 seconds down in the GC, and while the focus is on the UAE versus Visma rivalry, Remco is perfectly positioned to pick up the pieces if those two giants start bumping heads. One interesting sentiment, echoing in the comments section from fans watching this play out. Visma looks isolated for the first time in years. It really highlights the shift in power dynamics now that UAE has unlocked this secondary attacking threat with Del Toro. The pressure on Vingegaard is immense. He's the hunted, and the hunters are faster and more numerous than he anticipated. If he continues to play defense, he risks being suffocated by the dual-pronged attack UAE is currently executing. Now, let's pivot to the pro reality with some wisdom from Dr. Hutch. We talk about measuring ourselves against the best, but let's be honest. Sometimes you just want to take a medal home without a superstar crushing your soul. Whether it's Remco Evenepoel appearing at a race you were hoping to win, or just that one local legend who turns up to every crit to lap the field, we've all felt that sting of wanting the big dogs to stay in Tenerife for a while. Dr. Hutch hits the nail on the head. There's a massive difference between the honorable pursuit of excellence and the reality of wanting to justify your cycling habit to your family with an actual trophy, rather than just participating in a thrashing. It reminds me of a comment we saw under the stage coverage. I don't need to race a world champion to know I'm slow. My local climb does that for me every Sunday for free. Now let's talk tech. You look at these machines the pros are riding and wonder, why on earth do these bikes cost as much as a used car? It isn't just branding, it's the insane preparation. We are talking about teams spending hundreds of hours optimizing drivetrain friction and chain lubrication to save just a few watts. It's an arms race where the weapon is engineering. But the evolution isn't just in the gears. If you look back to the early 1900s, riders were literally wearing woolly shorts that became skin shredding hazards the second they got wet or dusty. We've come a long way from those heavy, abrasive fabrics to the space-age, aerodynamic skin suits we see today. It makes you wonder, are we actually faster, or are we just significantly more aerodynamic? Testing bikes across 7 decades shows that while the raw power output of a human athlete remains relatively consistent, the speed is being bought in the wind tunnel. One viewer commented on this shift, saying, "It's funny how we obsess over a 5-gram saving on a derailleur while our own kit isn't even aero-tested." A fair point, and definitely something to think about before your next purchase. Now, let's pivot from the polished, air-conditioned perfection of the professional peloton to the gritty, unscripted reality of the suffering for views crowd. While Pogacar and Del Toro are being escorted by a phalanx of team cars and dedicated domestiques, others are out there finding their own kind of misery. Look at this, 160 kilometers solo through the Scottish Highlands. No follow car, no team radio, just rain, wind, and the creeping realization that you might have severely underestimated the route. It brings up that eternal question. Why do we do this to ourselves? There's a specific brand of madness required to film your own bonk on the side of a lonely mountain road. In the TDF, you have a nutrition plan down to the milligram. In the Highlands Vlogerscape, it's whatever half-melted cereal bar you managed to find in your jersey pocket. One viewer put it best in the comments: "The tour is the dream, but the Highlands are the character builder." We aren't all fighting for yellow, but the suffering, that's universal. And honestly, seeing these vlogs gives the tour a weird sense of scale. It reminds us that behind the high-budget broadcast, at the core, it's still just human beings turning pedals and hoping the legs don't give out. The pros are racing against legends, the vloggers are racing against sunset and the local weather patterns. Both are grueling in their own right. So next time you watch a mountain stage, just remember that somewhere out there, there's a cyclist with a dead GoPro battery, no cell service, and 40 kilometers of headwinds left to go. The pressure is mounting, and the GC battle is turning into a psychological war. Jonas Vingegaard is clinging to that yellow jersey, but you can feel the cracks forming. He's officially on the defensive, forced to react to every move UAE makes. Meanwhile, Evenepoel is lurking in the shadows, waiting for just one moment of hesitation to strike.
Moravec is picking up a lot of speed. Not quite sure what he's going to be doing in this year's tour. I mean, Matej Moravec, has his season been that good, really?
And it's not just the race on the road that's heating up. Behind the scenes, the transfer market is buzzing. Rumors are swirling that Natnel Tesfachen is being scouted by Visma Lease Bike. If Visma pulls that off, they're clearly trying to shore up their climbing roster to combat the sheer depth of talent UAE is throwing at them. Speaking of team tactics, one commenter on the Highlights channel hit the nail on the head, saying, "UAE isn't just racing the tour, they're running a masterclass in how to deflate a rival's morale." It's hard to disagree after seeing them let Del Toro take that win today. As we look ahead to stage 3, the question is, who cracks first? The riders are exhausted, the mental load is heavy, and the tactical games are only getting weirder. Will Vingegaard hold steady, or will the dual-pronged attack of Pogacar and his squad finally break the Visma defensive line? We'll be here to break it all down.